Yeah, howdy, Con. Howdy, howdy, howdy. I thought you might enjoy 7.5 ounces of pure premium propane. Are you kidding? No, I cook with mesquite. Gives me a nice taste of wood. And I cook with propane. Gives me a nice taste of meat. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a Casablanca Delta in charcoal black. Another one. As you can see, this fan is pretty similar to the first one, except that it has no light kit. The blades are a slightly darker finish, and it has a regular downrod as opposed to a fan lifter. Overall, the fan is in pretty good shape, aside from some scratching along the switch cap. And if you look closely enough at that downrod, you can kind of tell that it was repainted to be charcoal black in the 11th hour. And the reason this finish is called charcoal black is because if you look close enough, you can see a slight texture to it that kind of makes it look like charcoal. This makes Casablanca's matte black finish a bit more unique compared to its competition. Fan is from 1984, as you can see right there. And we will start it off on low. The Casablanca fob I did add myself, but everything else is original. And the fan does have its hang true, that is elsewhere. So, as I've mentioned before, and most specifically in the video of the first charcoal black Delta, this finish, charcoal black, was one of the rarer finishes as a part of Casablanca's original lineup. Originally they had 8 finishes, and then around the year 1980, I think, they tacked on a 9th, which was pewter. And then going into the early 80s, those 9 finishes were predominantly the ones that they had. And of course, some of them were a lot more common, and others were a lot more rare. And charcoal black definitely leans toward the more rare side of things. So this finish was around pretty much since the early days, late 70s. And then in 1984, or at the end of 1984, it seemingly went on hiatus, and then came back in the 90s as matte black. I believe when they brought it back as matte black, it did lose its charcoal texture, but if I'm remembering this right, I think it was still under finish number 8, so it was still technically the same finish, just slightly reworked. Now we'll take it up to medium. So charcoal black was offered on a number of different models. The Delta being the most common that you find it with, but it was also on the Four Seasons, the Zephyr, and a combination with the Panama of either black and antique brass or black and polished brass. And then there were also black and brass combos for the Zephyr and Four Seasons as well. And they were probably offered with the Delta also, even though I've never seen them. And because this fan is from 1984, it of course has an Asterson motor in it. I am still yet to find a single Slumber 3 or Slumber Quiet Casablanca from 1984 that has an Emerson motor from the factory. It's only IntelliTouch. That was the only control type of fan that was spared. Anyway, now we'll take it up too high. Fan does have a little bit of a wobble. The blades are not balanced perfectly, that is the most likely culprit. But the fan is fast and very powerful. And there you go, a second 1984 Casablanca Delta in charcoal black. Now, if only I could get the camera to focus before I cut the shot. There we go. Take care, everybody.